You gotta start the show.
Okay, I have to introduce the whole thing now. This is Grindstone.
You gotta get up and be somebody. It's been a long time since we've last seen each other. But we here. And I realize in this time that I've taken off that I realized a couple things. And today is going to be a different type of episode, but there's a couple things that I realized. And one thing is that if you have a show or if you do anything in which you film yourself or record yourself, keep going. Because, let me see, it's been about 2, I'm going to give it 2 weeks, but it might mess around and been 3 weeks since I've cut my camera on and got busy and done this. And what I realized in that time off is that it takes a certain something to actually sit in front of the camera and press record and do what you do. And the more I think everybody's doing it, the more I realize the distance between thinking something and doing something, it's a long travel to get to the doing something part. And I don't know where I'm getting this number from, but I'm going to say about only 23% of the people are actually going to do something. About 80% of the people are going to think about doing something. But it's only going to be about 23% of the people who are going to actually do something, even if it's just once. And then it shrinks to about 3% of the people who are going to keep on doing something. So give yourself a big old hug if you started something that you said you was going to start and you kept rocking. You the ones. You the ones. And so I realized at that time that I was dormant on this microphone on this show, and I had a lot going on. You know, I had to put some things in perspective. There was a death that I did an episode about, and it wasn't quite a month ago, but it was close to a month ago. And the 5 stages of grief, which are anger, denial, negotiation, depression, acceptance, you can't rush them. And when something has happened to me or around me or in my thought, and I'm like, damn, now I got to go through the 5 stages. Damn. And I know I can't rush it. I don't know how to approach things except for take it one moment at a time, one day at a time, one foot in front of the other, and just start doing the things that need to be done. But I know that I'm going to reach these different stages at different times that really have nothing to do with my precipitation of the events. And so when that happened, I mean, actually, we're about to collectively get a little closure on that Wednesday. Peace to Coach Beam. But in the memorial service that's going on. But when certain things happen to certain people in a certain way, a piece of you kind of goes there and the lesson comes later, and it just confuses stuff. So that really monopolized my thoughts for a minute. In addition, with a lot of other things that had happened in 2025, I was just like, damn, I thought life was this, then I thought life was this, then I realized life was this, and I'm just like, damn, okay, so I got to reposition a couple things. Matter of fact, let me just learn how and why I'm operating in the way I'm operating. From what I'm consuming to the way that I'm breathing to the way that I do stuff. Let me make sure I'm doing that in a way that sticks with my constitution, because when all this good old special lifetime is wrapped up, I hope that I lived it in a way that I'm cool with, you know? Hope that I didn't tuck my tail and do stuff for menial concessions. So, I had to look at all that. And I just think it was like a healthy time, which is interesting about broadcasting or podcasting daily, bi-weekly, whatever your schedule is, showing up and recording in front of a camera and really journaling, discussing, being real, even being fake, just being consistent. It makes the crowd get real thin when it comes to how many people actually gonna have the fortitude to continue to do that. So here's to the fake ones. Welcome to episode 89. Sorry for my language. I'm back. I believe it's episode 89 because I would hate if it was episode 90 and I didn't just bust off with the 90. But regardless, here we are. Hey, look, my goal at the beginning of 2025 was to run through 100 episodes. So y'all gonna see something real special coming in 2026. But here we are right here, right now. And for those of you all who are not familiar, this is your first time, Sorry for My Language is the name of the show. One important thing for you that I need from you is for you to share this. No, matter of fact. You know what? I don't need you to share it as much as I just need you to give the thumbs up and like it, as a matter of fact. Right? Just give thumbs up and like it. YouTube will do the rest. And, shit. That's all I really want from you. And I want your ear. So, lend me your ear. And let's be sincere. This goes, first of all, to the sponsor of Sorry for My Language, which is my lifestyle philosophy, culture, and music show. The sponsor for this is Grindstone Universal. Grindstone Universal is a fashion house where progress is made and truth is revealed. You go to grindstoneuniversal.com and you find it all. And you stay flossy like me. Stay flossy like me. You stay flossy like me. Stay flossy like me. Shout out to Grindstone. Everybody, thumbs up and let's go. So one thing that through watching and studying and learning about how broadcast media works, it's a damn shame. But oftentimes, if you want to catch fish in media, you got to fish where the fish at. You got to fish with a fish at. And today, I'm going to do a little fishing with a fish at. That means that I got to discuss some stuff that people are discussing. And I guess that's the culture part of the show, right? Several things are going on in culture, and I talk about them offline with friends, but then I don't really bring them to this space because to me, they're a little low vibrational. You know? A little low vibration. And
I'd like to be high vibrational.
but it doesn't always. Being high vibrational is what I like to listen to. It's what I like to project. It's really what I am. It's my goal. It's not even my conscious goal. My goal is to do things that exist in a certain vein, and then within that vein, they revolve in a highly vibrational level. You know, and I wanted to say something other than highly vibrational, low vibrational, because all that shit is so common. But today we gonna fish with a fish at. You know? First things first. For all of you all who think that you're doing something and you're unseen and you're unheard, don't think that way. Because just recently, of I'll say a fairly popular person. They've started to do podcasting and streaming, things of that nature. And so I was kind of watching, and this is kind of exciting. But I noticed that partner was biting my style. Yeah, he was biting my style. It's only one of me, you know. But I was flattered to see that, oh, this dude is popular, and he's actually copying some shit that I do. You know, it's some things that I do specifically where I had to feel my way around in this world and get to this point where I could do this shit and it was my comfort zone. And then just to be watching somebody else's shit and see how much the fools is copying. But I take it as flattery. And for real, you know, shout out to you. And if you keep it up, I mean, like, you know, the following and watching and enjoying shit, hopefully you subscribed here. I'm gonna give you a whole lot more shit to copy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you already know it. You know, and I guess, man, look, I guess a lot of things, but all I know is that shit is one of the highest forms of flattery. And so I'm flattered, you know, by somebody who has means to do some shit in the media and then they biting me. They biting my shit. So at least, hey, partner, my guy. I have no problems with nothing you doing, but just like, comment, subscribe, and share. You know, if you're gonna copy the shit, at least do that. You feel me? Got to get my aesthetics right. Well, let me see if I get my aesthetics right. Damn. I be trying to get shit in the camera and everything don't always get in the camera. Hold on, let me see. I tried to talk to myself about this in the pre-production meeting I had with myself. But oh well. If something catches on fire, then you know, fuck it, you know what I was doing didn't work. Oh, let me do this. We keeping it lit, but I had to blow that out. That shit was getting a little dangerous. Shout out to the safety. So yeah, so it's good to be back here. And you know, if you feel like you're a small voice in a large crowd, just know that that pebble in the shoe or that itch on the body, that small detail that you might feel like you are to the bigger picture, it's a noticed detail. So just keep going. 100% keep going. It was good to see that a popular fool thought that copying me was his way in. And I don't really get a kick out of calling people out. There's certain stuff I do in life that might be petty, but I try to duck that when I'm amplifying some shit. But today I'm going to be all the way petty. Now, let's open this bag up. And fuck it, we're talking about Shador. We're going to start at Shador, right? I got a laundry list of things to talk about going on in culture. But right now we're going to talk about Shador Sanders for the Cleveland Browns. Shout out to Shador Sanders. For those of you all who are not hip, as I know a lot of you all aren't, this is a sports football thing. Shador Sanders is Deion Sanders' son. Deion Sanders is an ex-NFL football player, went to the Hall of Fame, known for his excellence on the field, his braggadocio on the field, off the field. And then most recently, in 2022, 2023, whatever, he started coaching Jackson State or University of Colorado. I'm not sure which year he started what, but basically went on University of Colorado and promised everything and lost everything. Trash ass program, and black people haven't been united and split over anything like this since the conversation of sugar on grits or salt on grits. It's a big issue in the sports community, even a bigger issue in the black community when it comes to discussing Coach Prime, Colorado Buffs, Deion Sanders things. Now, his son Shador is, now this is me, Shador is the reason why Deion Sanders started this whole coaching thing. Going to Jackson State and then bringing his son to Colorado. Initially, he said he was going to Jackson State to help the kids, the HBCUs, the black players, the athletes be seen. But it kind of turned out it looked like it was a play for his son. Whatever. That shit is nothing that I would do as a parent, because I don't think it makes the kid better. It's more of a magnifying glass on the kid. And it doesn't make the kid a better athlete. You might let certain shit slide. They develop bad habits socially and performance-wise. Or who knows, it might be the king of the earth. But whatever it is helicopter parenting. And whatever you either coach it or you allow it. And I think it was a lot of allowing going on. And so here we are. So the black community specifically, I'm not even really sure. Let me not even say black, but I can't leave black out because this is a black thing. If the Boondocks was playing, this shit would have made the Boondocks. So I'm going to say the black community is super pro Deion Sanders celebrity pitch and Shador Sanders as an athlete and all this shit. The sports community is split. Now, for those who are sports purists, you understand that as a player on the football field, Shador Sanders went 13-12 in college. In the pros, first of all, he was like Chili from TLC telling teams who he was and wasn't going to talk to based on what? I ain't going to play for no cold weather teams. I ain't going to, if you don't want your program changed, I'm not good for you. If this team and this team called, I ain't answering because I want to play now. All types of shit, right? Just like Chili, and the messed up part about it, and then even on draft night, he had this tricked out draft tent built, and it was like all this overdue with him, right? The messed up part about it is it puts a magnifying glass on him as if he's a problem. Now, if he's a problem or not is yet to be seen. We don't know. He might be a great guy. He might be a mid-range guy. He might be anything. It hasn't played out yet. We don't know. But all the precursors, showing your watch, like this is like the celebration. I'm going to show my watch. Like really? It's called perfect timing. Black people are really behind that shit. And he went 13-12 in college. Then you bring him to the pros, and he came in with half a game and a 6-point lead. They lost that game, but they're not counting that one on his record, right? He came in, so then he started 3 games. He's basically 1 win, 2 losses. His completion percentage over those 3-4 games or whatever is under 50%. So he's getting heralded as the next best thing in the world. And he didn't prove it in college. He played for a subpar team and went damn near 500, 13-12. And every time they played ranked competition, he submarined, got dominated by their players in their program. And then now when he's in the pros, he has a lot of his college habits following him, which makes him look like a fucking backup, right? So the thing about it, when he's playing well, people say Shador's balling. When he's playing poorly, or when something else happens, they say, oh, he don't have no O-line. He don't have no defense. It's the coach's fault. It was raining. Every excuse in the book. And I'm just thinking like, these are the conversations I have. I told people in the beginning that I don't think he's very good. Now, this is just from me watching Colorado play, right? I was like, he's average, but he's pulling out spectacular victories in the last drive of the game against extremely average and subpar teams. So it's kind of like, me dunking on the 8-foot rim. Like it's, all right, yeah, I hit the buzzer beater on the 8-foot rim. Am I really one of the best for that reason? And so that's what his college career came off like to me. And then he just had certain things about the way he was handling himself, putting himself in front of the rest of the team and all that. I was like, that shit ain't sexy. So he was coached by one of the greats, Tom Brady, or at least counseled by one of the greats. And I was just like, ain't nothing wrong with drafting him 5th round. And that's the uproar. They said the NFL was racist for that reason. For all the several reasons that you could say the NFL is racist. It's not one black owner in the NFL. You gonna pick this to say the NFL is racist? All of y'all are drawing checks from the NFL. All of y'all are putting interest in the NFL. Y'all betting on the NFL. And not one of y'all has ever turned your back on the NFL due to the fact that there's no black ownership. It's all because this dude got picked 5th in the 5th round instead of the 1st round. That's what makes y'all think the NFL is racist? It's a shell game. It's a shell company. And this is part of the bullshit that gets on my nerves about the whole way that the Shador Sanders talk has been getting pushed around in media. First of all, in order for all media to talk about the same thing in the same way, you have to know that there's an email that we don't know about where everybody talking about the same shit, where the sponsors, who are also not black owned, they're like, listen, we will uplift this content because black people like this and we need niggas watching. We need niggas watching. In media, you got to fish where the fish at. Fish where the fish at. Something to feel on her booty too. From the heart. What? If I was young and rich, I'd marry you, but I'm old and I hate so. And so all of them are fishing in the same pond. And that's why I'm saying that this, even what I'm doing today, my shit got a little edge to it. But most of the media, I'm gonna talk about the political shit in a sec, but most of it's low vibrational. It's not catching you at your high point. You're not high pointing the crowd. Okay, so anyway, everybody's caping for this Shador shit, and whatever, dude. You realize how many quarterbacks have come out and been as good or better or a little worse? This shit ain't no special story. So I don't know why everybody has chosen to make this a special story, but this is just where culture is right now. It really does suck. And I just wish we could do a little bit better, but we obviously can't. Can't do no better than this, huh? This is where we are. So anyway, I'm here to say this. All of y'all Shador fans who love on him for his potential, for the unseen wins, all of y'all who love him for that, I'm going to say that the way that you're rooting for him is dividing the team that he's on, and it's going to put pressure on the next team that he's on or on the next team members that he has. And I don't think this type of support is actually helpful. It's really kind of fucking shit up because he has to get up in front of cameras and answer questions that are 75% generated from the Shador sexual crowd. Why don't y'all just let him cook if you think he's a chef? Just let him cook. Fuck it. And this ain't no black-white thing. See, there are a lot of black quarterbacks in the NFL now. There are a lot of black coaches. No black owners, but there are a lot of black athletes. So it's not like he's waving the flag for the black quarterback. It's a lot of black quarterbacks. You don't have to like him if you're black. You don't have to dislike him if you're white. It's just this weird thing that we have tied up with celebrity. And Shador Sanders is the son of a celebrity, which by proxy made him a celebrity. He ain't won nothing, but he seems like a nice kid. That's the other fucked up part. I got limited exposure to his interviews and talks and who he is as a person, but he seems like a decent young man. And then here we are making him a hero or a villain as the niggas is like 50, 60 years old talking about all this nuanced shit about Shador and putting him in a place where he can't even really play his game. If he completes a pass, people are like, yeah, see, I told you, fire his coach. That don't make his game better. Firing his coach don't make his game better. If a receiver drops a pass, trade him. That'll make his team better. So there's no situation in which this helicopter fandom is going to make him better until he starts really stepping out and being a distinct winner or a distinct loser or a distinct mediocre player. Because right now you're just kind of going with your emotions, and he don't have enough tape. He don't have enough football tape out. So how you loving on something that hard? I really think some of y'all should get Shador tatted on your throat the way you're gawking. The gawk is real. So I wanted to cover that because I have these individualized conversations, and I'm like, hold up. When we start overlooking the person who won in lieu of the person who lost, like when we start doing that, I don't remember. I don't remember that at all, and I don't like this new culture of doing that. I hate to say it, but I kind of think it started with LeBron. But even the difference with LeBron was a monster out the gate, 18 years old in the NBA, and he turned a franchise around quick, went to the highest level. And then, his bitch assness was controversial in the league, LaFlop and all that shit, but and then him joining with superpower ass teams. But LeBron was a very high level player for a very long time. But then it just got to the point where the media was like, we got to fish where the fish at. And they was talking about LeBron, win, lose, draw, season in, season out. It really didn't matter. And I was just like, nah, I don't think that's healthy for sports. But that's the culture that we're in. People talk about popularity. People cape for popularity. Am I right? Or is I'm right? The problem with caping for popularity is that the groupie nature of it makes people want to be around something only because it's popular, despite how amoral or immoral what the subject of their desire is doing or their behavior is. They just want to be around popularity because sometimes that's the only currency they got. They didn't get paid from it yet. And one of the biggest problems that we see exercising itself in that mode of operation today is with the Diddy documentary. The Diddy documentary, for those of you all who don't watch and listen to podcasts, pretty much everything on that documentary, 95% of the stuff was unearthed between 2020 and 2024. Maybe even 2023. It was unearthed on through podcasts. Gene Deal dedicated his world to talking about all the Diddy shit. Like everything. Hours and hours. And then DJ Vlad, he pretty much bust down the whole Tupac murder summer 2022, I think it was. 2022, 2021. In-depth interviews with several people. So we saw the Keefe D. Diddy Southside Crip connection did what it did. All that, right? So this has been out to the average Joe public. The problem with wanting to be around the person who's the person, the problem wanting to be around popularity is that it came out to the average Joe public just recently. But since 1989, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, whenever that was where he really started getting this shit on, people who we know and respect and uplift were caping for this dude. Caping for popularity is not a way to a successful culture. Thinking we protecting the man because he's one of us, it allows several other people to be overlooked, hurt, and not heard. There's rarely good in overlooking flaws in judgment and underachievement and some subversiveness towards our people when it is happening, especially from one of our people. I say our people because when they operate against us, I see my people, but I don't see my people. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, Diddy raped, Diddy stalked, Diddy haunted, Diddy cheated, Puffy. I'm from the generation we call him Puffy and shit. But he did a lot of evil, narrow-minded things to a lot of people. Very much calculated. However, who's your favorite artist? Were they around? Did they say anything? But they're still your favorite artist? You're still buying their shit when it comes out? You're still celebrating them? Even though you see the cowardice, even though you see the click up, even though you see how they are on some sucker shit? So just think if just think if it's like a rapist in your neighborhood, right? A lot of y'all don't have to imagine this shit. Some of you all are the rapists. But imagine if something like that is going on in your neighborhood, African Bambaataa, but this person got like a lot of money and a lot of juice, right? Let's just say that. And then they're doing shit to people and you know this is happening, But then you're like, yeah, I don't really give a fuck though. That's my man. Yeah, he raping people in the neighborhood, but that's my man. And he looked out and gave me some money. Stepping outside of yourself in this fantasy world, how would you look at the person who you were being in this situation where, yeah, that's my man, he be doing a little rape, he be doing a little inappropriate business. Like, how would you look at that person knowing that you have co-signed this crazy behavior? And that person who's the villain in the neighborhood can use you as kind of an unsaid character witness. Well, if so-and-so like him, then he must be okay, and what he's doing is cool, and the people who he's victimizing must not matter. That's what that's giving. Your silence is crazy, celebrities. And y'all been quiet, Beyonce, Cowboy Carter. I'm sure it was nothing in that documentary that came as a surprise to the Carters. They had the platform to say something. Why didn't they say nothing? Come on, like y'all, it's cool if you don't say nothing, but why are we as people elevating y'all to like some status of people who got a spinal cord of any level? Like, why are we even doing that shit? Knowing that DJ Khaled ain't gonna say nothing. What are you talking about? You the best. Wouldn't the best say something? I really shout out to Styles P, shout out to Cat Williams, shout out to 50 Cent. These motherfuckers said something and talked about it. Like, I say Styles P because I remember when the Lox was beefing with Puffy to get off the label, and they was on the radio station. They was really talking that shit. A refrigerator might fall on your head. And what you gonna say? Like, they were airing it out loud. Mace, he was talking about that shit out loud. I mean, so the documentary on Diddy, it just shows that this dude is a super duper creep. Shine was his man, his money maker. Shine had to sit down and do 10 years because he was like, all right, I'll hold the gun so you and your celebrity girlfriend can escape from the scene in which you shot a woman in the face. But I know that you got the bread and the connect, so you're going to get me off, right? Wrong. Wrong. A lot of people who we celebrate know about the heinous acts. This is the problem with celebrity idolatry. They're not here for us. They're here for each other. And whether it looks like Savage Fenty is over here being independent black woman business, or whether it looks like 444 is over here getting the family together and raising the kids, or whether it looks like Kanye is over here getting mental help, or whether it looks like Stephen A. Smith is over here talking sports, all that shit is run by the same money, the same group. LVMH, that's Fenty. That's also Hennessy. That's all this shit. Disney, Paramount, the Netflix, the once Warner Brothers, all these motherfuckers get together and do the same weirdo shit. They sit at the table and they eat fried hands together. There's always somebody to sacrifice. And if you look at this shit just over the span of time, how was there so much death around Diddy and not one of the people who we fuck with called it out? Mace did. Gene Deal did. Cat Williams did. But a lot of motherfuckers were silent. And I know 50 got some more tricks up his sleeve, and we're gonna see what's going on with that. But yeah, we gotta just stop giving people passes because we're awestruck of their celebrity. It's useless at this point. And to another point, something that kind of had me something that was kind of funny to me earlier today. I saw a dude. I mean, I saw it online. He wanted a picture with Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes has a wonderful voice. And back in the day, Busta Rhymes rapping was special. But something has happened. I see my people, but I don't see my people. But fuck it, people age, shit happens. But Busta Rhymes, it's like his body want to be skinny, but his belly won't let him. You know, it's like his belly points that way, and his body's like that. And it's like this. It's like a straight up 7 months pregnant, and it's bugged out looking at him. So I say this to say, not judging his body type or no shit like that. Don't really give a fuck. But and Skinny Buster, by the way, sidebar, man, Skinny Buster with the dreads was a rapping ass rapper. And he looked like the character. He had the whole shit. You know, so everybody, man, take care of yourself. Shout out to Skinny Buster. Got to give it up for Skinny Buster, the legend. But Big Buster, he was so a dude came up, he wanted to get a picture with him, right? And the dude was about to snap the picture, and he was like, something like, shout out to my man Tracy Morgan. That shit was hilarity. That he would, and before you know, Busta was all in with it, about to do the celebrity pick, all that. And the homie called him Tracy Morgan. And in that moment, as soon as the word Morgan came out of his mouth, this shit was hella funny. I mean, because honestly, if a movie was being shot about Tracy Morgan's life and Tracy Morgan couldn't make it to the movie set that day, I'm just saying. Right? We got somebody who could step in. And Busta Rhymes got hell of offended, but it was a funny ass joke. And like, if I was Tracy Morgan, I'd be offended. Like what you trying to say, Busta? I'm not attractive. You know, I'm just saying. It was hella funny. It was hella appropriate. Busta lost his sense of humor about it. Threatened, told the nigga he could get, you know, whatever. Like, Busta took it there on some violent type talk. And the joke was hella funny. It's because you fat and you got like little jeans. So you got like normal, round, and then it goes back to normal. He like shaped like a giraffe with an Adam's apple. And, you know, it's like skinny and then won't, and then it's like normal. And it's just a trip. Is like, what the fuck is going on with Busta Rhymes' belly? That don't look like a baller tummy. It looked like some shit wrong. But fuck it. If you are in front of cameras and somebody calls some shit out, you gotta hold that. Nigga, you do look like a little bit like Tracy Morgan, which is what made that funny. Just laugh about it, man. It's cool. It's funny. It ain't like you gonna wake up and turn into Tracy Morgan or no shit like that. But nigga told the joke. He got you on that one, right? But motherfucker catch you out in the street and got a joke for you like that, that might just send your ass packing and going straight to the gym. That might have you pushing that cheesecake to the left or to the right and being like, not today, my brother. I'm watching my figure. So I thought that shit was hella funny. But celebrities be so on their fucking high horse that they take themselves seriously when really we're on the outside looking in like, nigga, you look crazy. You know, you're buddying up to these crazy looking DJ Khaled fat ass weird niggas. This nigga got hella ice cream. Ice cream goes bad. Okay? This fool DJ Khaled got hella ice cream in his freezer, and that had to be like a joke or some shit. If it was a commercial, I don't know what would have been a commercial for it, because that would have been a good refrigerator commercial, you know, or a good diabetes medication commercial, or a good, I I don't know, like before picture commercial, and then you show, and then somehow this nigga got in shape. But you got dudes like him who won't even speak up on his country. You know, his country done been bombed for like over 2 years straight. We the best. He the loudest front man of all time, and he ain't said a word about it. Come on, guys. Guys, come on, guys. In the immortal words of Fat Joe. Come on, guys. Guys. Fat Joe. Fat Joe is an excellent storyteller. I don't know what else to expect or demand of Fat Joe as one of the general public, but personality-wise, Fat Joe got all it takes to be like, to be the one. You know, I think if Fat Joe had like if Adult Swim was out and he had a cartoon voice character, or like if one of them Pixar movies came out again, you know, like the one where Eddie Murphy was Donkey and like a Shrek type joint, man, Fat Joe should be in one of them joints. He got the shit to be I fuck with Fat Joe. This is outside of his politics, outside of his bond with everybody being his brother. Khaled's my brother, all that shit. Out of all the gumpy ass shit that goes on in celebrityism, I think he one of the coolest motherfuckers through the screen. I don't know him in real life, but through the screen, he's one of the coolest. Just most, I think he got the highest ceiling of all these celebrities. Like, I can see Fat Joe going far as fuck if he don't get in his own way. So yeah, I just wanted to say I enjoy watching that nigga say wild ass, just say wild ass shit, but not trying to say wild ass shit, just being who he is. Where else the fish at? Hold up. Fish where the fish at? We fishing where the fish at? I'm saying we fishing where the fish at because, hey, on this portion of Sorry for My Language, I'm just talking shit about everything that has popped up that I'm not gonna revisit because shit that everybody else talked about. I usually don't delve into that because it's not my business, honestly. You know, I'd really like to read more. Shout out to y'all who read some books this year. If you read a book, shout out to you if you have. Somehow everybody got a New York bestseller, but don't nobody be reading books. Something super fishy about that. I got a bestseller book. I ain't read a book in years. Like, the fuck? How's that work? But write your books, because the written word is going to last for fucking ever. So keep writing your books. I think that shit is great. Go on Substack, create a Substack account. So if you want to type your thoughts, but I just think that shit is cool. That material belongs to you on Substack. I'm not sure if it's like immediate copyright or some shit, but I appreciate people who write and create. Speaking of which, if y'all don't follow Grindstone on motherfucking all the DSPs, all the networks, you're losing. I've been putting out fire ass releases. Look up Grindstone on Spotify, fucking Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon. Matter of fact, go to Amazon and buy some shit by Grindstone. I just put out a single called Hierarchy. That shit go. That shit go. I just put out another single called Thunderous. That shit go. That shit go. I just finished 2 albums. And I'm going to have like just a slow just release on your ass. Bow, one after another, after another, after another. After the another, after the another, after the another. But that's what you should be doing. You should be recording, documenting your time on this earth with ideas and thoughts. Not like, I'm not to say not, because I'm actually doing it right now, but I was like, not filming your whole life, walking around on some Truman Show shit, which I think is kind of corny, which eventually was which was the creation of the Diddy documentary, right? And it's the corny shit about Deion Sanders' run, but not to throw them under the bus, but let's pray about it. But I'm just saying, it is your obligation and gift and right, and it is worth your time to leave something to document your space and time. It's pretty cool. So write, okay? Write shit. And, it's another thing about how these cameras gonna work, right? So we're filming everything, AI. AI is just some shit that people say 100 times a day now at this point. But, it's a trip that Andre Iguodala, AI, was an early investor in AI. It's like AIINAI. I-N-I. I-N-I. Andre Iguodala in AI, in artificial intelligence, whatever. But, now it's all these AI guys, not guys, but like tools and shit. So now one thing that's going to happen is the luster of social media is going to be lost once it becomes strictly for buying and selling, because people got on social media to be social. Now social media is media. That TV shit ain't it. And media is just the glue between ads, right? We're going blah, 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 blah. Sell you soap, right? That's where you get the soap opera from. Selling soap powder to moms who are at home washing clothes and dishes. And so that's what social media is going to turn into if we're not there already. But the reason why it's going to lose some of its juice is, it's going to make an adjustment, I'm predicting, but it's going to lose some of its juice because if you have AI generating content and then this person has AI receiving and filtering content, very soon, immediately, if not soon, it's going to be AI talking to AI. And we're going to be like managers of bots. But the whole fucking reason we got on there was to talk to one another and to see what somebody who we fuck with way over there is doing. But if it's bot on bot, we still not gonna know what they're doing. And even that digital divide that we bridged with social media, that's gonna close up. And then we just out here stuck without any connection to people. It'll be bot on bot love. And that is not what makes human beings shine. So the shit will lose its luster and people are going to seek human connection. I think it'll become very revolutionary very soon for people to get to know their neighbors. What they say, clock it. Getting to know your neighbors is going to be a revolutionary act in 2026. Just as soon as 2026. Hey, what's up? I just live down the block. I just wanted to come introduce myself, say what's up. You know, I'm so-and-so. And you'll be an eyeball, but that shit used to be super fucking normal. We're gonna do the whole roundabout and get back to that because people are gonna be tired of bot on bot talk. Oh, you were there? Yeah, I saw you. Oh, happy birthday, heart, heart, heart. Man, fuck that shit. If we got a connection, I gotta hear you laugh. I gotta smell you. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, all this like type texting and shit, it gets the point across, but it's so transactional that ain't love. At all. At all. So, you know, I expect some of those changes to become prevalent in the 2026 era. But outside of that, let me see. What else is petty? What else is motherfuckers talking about? You know, in this holiday season, which is probably one of the last gift-giving seasons that we'll have, because Gen Z, people ain't waiting until Christmas to buy gifts for people who they fuck with, right? And this whole corporate holiday is ridiculous. The economy has changed so bad. We going into another Great Depression time that's probably not going to get his foot off people's necks. Like, we're really entering that. The Department of Labor, for the very first time since they started, they didn't put out the quarterly report in October on job growth or economic growth. Our economic fitness is unknown to the public because that's how fucking bad it was. That's the rut that America is in with no tool to dig itself out. The job market is going to shrink so much in 2026. I thought long ago, I swear, during the pandemic, I thought 2026 was going to happen in 2023, but weed saved the day. You know, the whole cannabis market made it, like, push the issue, kick the ball down the road a little further. But here we are, and restaurants where people had as staples in their lives, they're closing. Fuck it, Staples closed. You know, all types of shit is closing because people figure out they need less, but if they do need it, they can order that shit right quick and it'll get delivered by a truck or plane on the road. Some easy shit to the mailbox, to the front porch, you know, to the crib. And all these buildings that exist, it's not going to be a need for people to be in them. And that represents a certain level of joblessness, which is fine if they were just doing bullshit work. But the people there has to be some type of training or education that's made available to the people so the motherfuckers get hip on how to become useful in this bitch. I talked about this before, and it lends itself to a welfare world. And you're going to see Great Depression activities. You really are, like, immediately, if not soon. And so going into this holiday season, just know that the message is more love than gifts. You know, if you could come in with some big ass bags and boxes of shit, that's cool. But if you could, like, write somebody a letter and make it smell good or create something fancy, don't sleep on your dollar stores. You know, but if you could just put some thought into somebody and be thoughtful about it, man, do that. That shit will mean a lot. And you won't be trying to make that purchase up in January and February because you bust your pockets trying to be special on December 25th. Plus, we going into the solstice anyway, right? So it's a time of fasting and degeneration and regeneration. And, it's time for us to like really be making big changes. We can't use the old systems to get forward anymore. So as we go into Christmas, man, don't trip. You realize that Grinch shit got real popular this year. Santa Claus ain't getting met with open arms like that. The Grinch got really fucking popular. It's for a reason. It's saying something. People are kind of like, yeah, fuck this. And when's the last time niggas said fuck Christmas? I mean, damn. What a time to be Jesus. I know Jesus sitting there like, hey, y'all, regroup. This holiday ain't supposed to be like this. I didn't even know it was going to be a holiday. I didn't even know what day I was born. Nobody fucking knows what day they're born. Right? You're just born and then somebody tells you some shit. But everybody does bad and they blame it on Jesus. Or they try to recover back to Jesus like Brother Love. Right? I'm Brother Love. Jesus. I know Jesus is like, yo, nigga, I didn't tell you to do all that. Like, what you doing? You got Coach Prime. Hey, little black Jackson State people, I got to go because Jesus called me to Colorado. Jesus like, yo, nigga, why you bring me into your mess? I'm just saying, man, this ain't the best time to be Jesus. And then here we are on Christmas, watching the deterioration of a holiday of the past. I'm sure there were some holidays that we don't celebrate anymore. Like, grandma, tell me about what horse and carriage holiday used to be about. I'm sure there were holidays. Umbrella Mondays or some shit. Parasol Saturdays. I'm sure there were some holidays that don't exist no more. Christmas finna be one of them. So just buckle up and love your people in this solstice time. When the days get shorter to the shortest day and they eke out and start becoming longer days. When the roots in the ground start making that taproot go low, so then you could have the tree grow further out and the buds and bear fruit and flowers that are delicious and beautiful in the spring and the summer. Take this season for what it is. Don't feel any gift buying guilt. Don't feel fucked up. Just be fucking kind to yourself and be kind to the people around you. And, I swear, I'm damn near talking myself hoarse. I just really it's good to be back. I believe with all of my heart and soul that we need to be talking to each other in this way. And then we need to be talking to each other in person. And for all of you who stick with me, I want to let you know that grindstoneuniversal.com got some shit for you. And don't forget, man, hit that thumbs up on this. Love on yourself. Love on the people around you. Sorry for my language. Out there.